Oops. Okay. I think we are live on YouTube. That's a good thing. Hopefully. Hello, Kathleen. I'm good. How are you? How's it going? Oof. Okay. I think it should be working just fine. Now let me launch our TikTok as well, so that the TikTok people could see me too, and all of the weirdos, like the ones that we had last time, the Tatianas and the rest of them, could yell at me. See? Hi Zoe, good to see you. Okay, good. I'm really glad that it's happening. Hopefully no crashes today, fingers crossed. Also, I currently have the map of Ukraine open, but today we have a little new update. We will also be looking at the map of Poland. What do you know? Because something happened. Oh boy. Hello TikTok. Hi everybody. How are we doing? Let me know. We're also live on YouTube as always. I'm very happy to hear this, Kathleen. Hello. Adish, how are you? How is it going? Okay, we're gonna do our regular warm-up. We'll just chat a little bit. We will wait for more people to join us. As we do, I will have my tea that already went cold, unfortunately. I don't know why I made it so early, but just some black tea with honey. And then we will get into everything. The ins and outs. Hi, Loris. Stressful day. No, what happened? Oh my god. Here everything is alright-ish. And hi Jason, good to see you. And hi Buffering Slowly. All of us, relatable. Britnick, hello you guys, good to see you. Good to see you. Here everything, thankfully, has been relatively calm. And hi Val, hi Adam. Unexpected paperwork, oh that sucks. Oh, I'm sorry. Ishk. I wish you could just burn it. I know you can't, but wouldn't it be nice? Imagine it just, all of it just going up in flames. A nice little mental exercise. Hi Moo. Hello. Okay, everyone is joining gradually. So here it's been okay-ish, I guess. I think, well, at least based on my observations, apparently, partially that's because at least one of the drones that were meant for us ended up in Poland instead, so that's, I mean, I wanted to say that's new, but is it really new? It's not really new. This is not something that unfortunately we're seeing for the first time, but yeah. Other than that, here in particular, it's been okay, so don't worry about us. An enraged bacon would like to tell us, God bless Trump. Okay, sure. If... Okay, yeah. I mean, sure. Hey, good to see you. Hi, Josh. Mew says, finally back at home from a business trip. Oh, that's wonderful. Home sweet home. Good to see you. Good to see you as always. God bless Trump, huh? Okay. Right. Hi Vicky, good to see you. So let's gradually be getting into things. Of course, yeah, we will have to look at Trump. Let's start from here. Why not? I mean, have you guys seen the image of him showing his merch to the heads of the European states? I was hoping, listen, I was hoping it was a one-time thing when he showed it to Aliyev from Azerbaijan. I was like, okay, maybe it's just like a teaser, preview, whatever. No, this is apparently how we do things now. This is a new norm, everybody. A lot of hats. One of them, I think, says Trump 2028 or something. Yeah, Iran is not so thrilled. But the way these people have learned to play, right into his inflated ego is crazy. Everyone's like, oh my god, this is so exciting. Zelensky is like, yeah, sure. Hi, Eminem. Thank you. Yeah, whatever you say, pal. I will be nodding and agreeing to anything. Just do not beat me up again. Yeah. Hello, Jim. Hi, Valerie. Yeah, we're also live on YouTube. This is where we're looking at all different things, including this one, the Trump merch store inside the White House. Okay, that's just a little piece of trivia. Another thing that I liked from his recent meeting with the European leaders was this. I think this is such a wonderful reaction pic. This is Giorgia Meloni from Italy and the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. Yeah, just being a very relatable meme. But yeah, to those of you who were not with us last time around, we were discussing and streaming and looking at the meeting between Trump and the heads of the European states, including Zelensky, which went surprisingly well, especially if you compare it to his most recent meeting with Zelensky. And yeah, we talked about that. But yeah, so far it hasn't really brought, too many productive results, but we're waiting. We're still waiting for something. Something started brewing. So for instance, we had some journalists reporting that a source with knowledge, I think this is the AP journalist, said the hope is to do the Putin-Zelensky, thank you, Adam, taking attendance, everybody. A source with knowledge said the hope is to do the Putin-Zelensky meeting by the end of August, right? So this is something, remember, this is one of the most discussed possible outcomes of that summit between the EU leaders and Trump and Zelensky, whether or not there's going to be a meeting between Zelensky and Putin and probably Trump. I don't know. If it were to happen, I'm afraid something will... Oh, thank you, Josh. Thank you. Something will collapse in this universe. But anyway, so this is the hope, right? The hope is for them to have some sort of meeting. Trump apparently on Truth Social that he called Putin. We remember, right? He apparently interrupted the meeting with the EU officials to do that and began the arrangements for a meeting at a location to be determined. This is actually, thank you, Glenn. This is actually a very interesting topic. There are already some options flying around. Anyway. Arrangements for a meeting at a location to be determined between Putin and Zelensky. And after that, we will have a trilateral meeting. At least this is what Trump said. So, already we're facing some interesting obstacles because Moscow immediately said, you know what, Zelensky should come to Moscow. Hey, let him just come to Moscow, let him come hang out at the Kremlin, why not? And Zelensky is like, no. I'm not doing that. No, we're not going to do that. And now they're discussing other possibilities. For instance, French President Macron offered Geneva for some reason, I think. Thank you, Moon. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, guys. And thank you, everyone, for tapping and sharing the live. It boosts it, as we have already proven in the past. So thank you for that as well. Anyway, then there was an option of Budapest. So thank you, Bram. Thank you. Good to see you. Which is ironic because of the last time everyone has gathered in Ukraine, in Budapest, to give security guarantees to Ukraine in 1994. And yeah, that worked out incredibly for all of us with the Budapest Memorandum. But yeah, so far I think this is one of the most seemingly agreeable options, at least it seems plausible, because no, of course Zelensky's not going to Moscow. This at least somehow makes sense, but we will see about that. So far, there haven't been any additional details on that. Привет, Dartsu. Hi, Sarah. Did they all get a merch coupon for attending? I hope so. I really hope so, but I, for some reason, have doubts. I think you probably made them pay an extra tariff on on the merch. I'm wondering what's the opinion in Ukraine about the meeting with Zelensky and European leaders. Any hope that the end is near? I know this is not what you meant, but yeah, everybody does feel like the end is near. But no, okay. Honestly, everyone was kind of, it wasn't like optimism regarding, the war is gonna end. everyone was just glad to see that we were not humiliated on the international stage again as we were before, when JD and Trump attacked Zelensky back in February, right? So the fact that this particular time around it was like nice and friendly, that was already cool, because everyone was petrified. We were worried they would eat him. We were worried they would again mock him or something and he would freak and it was going to be another nightmare. So yeah, that was good, seeing, the relationship being hopefully mended, right? At least by the look of it. But does anyone really have any sort of high hopes for a possible ceasefire and even more so for peace agreement? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so because we've already seen this film before. We've seen several attempts. Hi Frankie, thank you. In the past, and yeah, that didn't work out particularly good for us, to put it mildly. We're also live on YouTube, TikTok chat. Just a reminder to those of you who do not know. The EU leaders must be eligible for an Oscar after the visit to the White House. Excellent performance and acting. Yeah, they all looked super enthusiastic. I mean, different levels of enthusiasm they showed. I think sometimes you could see like a glimpse of but no, most of them behaved. I mean, I didn't expect anything else from them. Hi Annette, good to see you. But yeah, I think the one whose mask almost cracked was Zelensky himself, predictably, because there was this one particular moment, and we looked at that footage I think last time, when Trump went on a rant. So this was their press conference, right, before the meeting. It was Zelensky and Trump sitting together, and Trump went on a yet another unrelated rant that particular time about the mail-in ballots and how much he hates them, because of course he does. And Zelensky was sitting there like, you could tell that it takes everything in his power for him not to smile. So he was like, just. But everyone else was on. They were doing wonders, honestly. Hello, Deborah, and hello, Vindictus. Good to see you. Yeah, Zelensky thanked Trump 1,000,000 times. It wasn't just 12 times, and everyone else also thanked Trump. We were counting actually during the last live stream. Hello, Rabbit. Good to see you. Anyway, so yeah, this is as far as the potential Putin-Zelensky and then maybe Trump-Zelensky meeting goes. So several options for the location. One of them, the one that seems most likely, is Budapest, which is triggering. Another possible option is Istanbul, by the way. I think this is something that has been, well, at least I think Erdogan would love that very much. Hello, Colleen. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So he can accidentally fall out the window. Right, exactly. Who would, in their right state of mind, travel to Moscow under the circumstances, right? Especially Zelensky, out of all people on this planet. I think he would be the last one to do that. Hello, Cinderella. Good to see you. Perhaps... wait, who should go to Moscow? Trump should go to... I'm afraid at this rate he might, in the foreseeable future. I know. Yeah. Heroin Slava, thank you. I don't think Ukraine was humiliated. Trump and his buddies made fools of themselves. So this is regarding the February meeting, right? When Zelensky was in the White House. The White House ambush, as I like refer to it. It really felt like humiliation, though. I just remember the complete state of horror from the general public here. And it was just... because it wasn't really perceived as, oh, they're just insulting Zelensky because they hate him personally, right? It was read as, oh my God, this is what the US policy towards Ukraine is going to look like. This is it. This is over. So, yeah, it sent shockwaves, absolutely. So that was very interesting situation to see. Anyway, but I do sort of agree with you. It did... Hi Jay, thank you. It was not a good look for the US, for the Trump administration. Anywho, so yeah, this was just something regarding that. This is another truth from Truth Social. There was an interesting glimpse of Trump's mentality, a clip posted by various news outlets. This particular one is from Newsweek, but it doesn't really matter here. It's just the content of this thing that interests us. Let's listen. Wait, I cannot hear you. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. But you can hear him. This is Trump speaking, right?
Yeah. To set up a tri-lab,
I think he wants to make a deal. I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand that? As crazy as it sounds.
We'll let the press
waiting for us.
He wants to make a deal for me. This is the thing that stuck with me. So this is him, Trump, talking to the European officials, right? And he just completely, without a shred of a doubt, for me, Putin is willing to make a deal. Okay, yeah, sure, if you say so. Not because of the pressure, right? Not because of the sanctions, not because of the losses, not because of the state of the economy, not because of what China is saying, but because Putin really likes you, man. Yeah, he just... Oh, hi, Carolyn. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Yeah, that was very... I don't know. It was a very sobering moment to me because I was hoping before that maybe it's not that ego-driven, that maybe there is some other rationale behind. No, it's just pure ego all around. Okay. Right? It's just so... He thinks yeah, exactly. He thinks he's the special friend. They have a special relationship now, apparently, which is, okay, we'll see, I guess. Let me see. We had, of course, some other things to come out of the summit, and most importantly, they started talking about the possibility of the security guarantees for Ukraine. So, for instance, we have Trump, once again, I'm sorry, everyone, is saying that he will not send US troops to Ukraine, but might help by air, which is interesting. I think this is one of the first times we're hearing something like this. So the possibility of, some sort of... Okay, important thing to notice. We do not know what exactly he means by air, okay? Ideally, of course, thank you, Mirja, good to see you. Ideally, I would imagine, I guess, that this would be something along the lines of closing the sky, at least over parts of Ukraine, and preventing the Russian attacks over several regions of Ukraine. And this was a very popular opinion among actually many of the Ukraine supporters throughout the years, saying, okay, we could at least do this, the Western Ukraine supporters from the Western countries, we could at least do this for the Western regions of Ukraine, right? We could make it a more or less safe zone so that this territory would definitely be off limits for Putin. It would mark that, okay, no, this part of Ukraine will definitely, persevere and continue existing, and also it would be safe, and it would be good for the economy, and, it would be literally just a safe haven inside the country, and also it could serve multiple goals, right? It was always dismissed because it's too dangerous, but the escalation, but the nuclear war, but the, you know the drill. So yeah, now we're hearing this stuff being actively discussed, at least by Trump, which doesn't say much, but it's a start. Hi, Carol. Hello. Good to see you. We're already discussing all kinds of things that Trump said. But this ties in pretty neatly with stuff like this, for instance, right? UK, this is The Guardian reporting, UK to offer troops to defend Ukraine's skies and ports. Hi, Maddie, good to see you. Everyone is gathering gradually. I love it. It's like the Avengers assembling. So yeah, the UK to offer troops to defend Ukraine's skies and ports, right? Another statement from a different player, but kind of similar in content, and very important, not coming from Trump. So this is so I think we can definitely agree that we're seeing the trend shifting. And they have mentioned before that this is something they have discussed, the Western officials, for several months, at least 3 months by this point, all of these different possibilities for the security guarantees for Ukraine. So yeah, these are the first results that we are now witnessing. Good evening, Kate. Good to see you. So yeah, the UK officials also say that the UK not prepared to deploy troops to frontline, which no one was really expecting that. It's just that the moment any sort of mention of, any possible security guarantees would arise, all of these naysayers and the Russian talking heads and the whatever, and just fools in general, they would start screaming, no one is going to, not the front lines, not Donbass. It wasn't ever really a realistic possibility. Whenever we would mention something like this, or just discuss this idea, thank you, Zoe. Thank you, guys. I see you. We would always mean something in the west of the country. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention, possibly sending troops to the western regions of Ukraine could, for instance, secure our border with Belarus. Remember, we have this fun little situation going on here, right? This is how much of a border we share with Belarus. All of this is a potential threat that keeps our troops here, like, stuck in these regions, because they have to guard this border, because you never know what Lukashenko can do tomorrow. So having allied troops here, for instance, would allow us to free up these troops and use them in the fight, right, at the front line. Another possible, I guess, benefit to something like this happening. Anyway, so this was something that they have mentioned. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Apologies. Why you can't take why you can't take JD to Turkey? He can't be left alone with an Ottoman. Okay. But that's a good one. That's my style of humor. Okay, let me see. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so we're just going through that. The results of the... So this first meeting in the DC, one important thing to keep in mind about this, a lot of people were expecting something big to come out of it immediately, which I don't know if I warned you guys. I probably did. It was not gonna happen. It was, if anything were to happen, it was going to take a lot of time and a lot of talking and all of these people gathering and calling each other and sending letters and, the usual. It takes a while. But yeah, for now, the main things, they started finally giving us at least some sort of like a glimpse of the possible security guarantees, and we're discussing the potential meeting between Zelensky and Putin. So these are the most important outcomes for now. And also Zelensky mentioned that he will only be discussing any sort of territorial questions with Putin personally. So, okay, sure. I think it was very smart on his behalf to put it this way, because he did it. A lot of people were worried that he would say, okay, just outright stating to Trump, we're not giving our territories to Russia, and that would lead to Trump freaking out, and, everything would be ruined. So he didn't do that. He treaded very carefully around the big orange guy, and hey, I guess props to him. Wait, we also had another. We had another interesting phone call to Orban. Okay, we're gonna talk about this in a sec. I cannot imagine, says Bram, what's going through Zelensky's mind when Trump is in a tangent. He's trying his best to remain calm. You can literally see he's trying to imagine all these calming images, the babbling brooks and the beautiful forest and the waves and the mountains and the big iron guy should have just back onto it. This is not the correct expression, I'm afraid. And let you all handle it. We should not your war. This is not how it works. You cannot first make yourself a major part of something, as you already did decades ago and have continued, and then just when things get rough, be like, okay, I'm leaving now. No, this is not a fantasy football. tournament, John. This is not how it works, okay? We live in the UK. My wife and daughter are from Donetsk and still have an apartment. Oh, really? Oh my God. I cannot see, unfortunately. The rest of your message got lost, but that's... Wow, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Josh. We have also DMC123 saying the same thing. At least the big orange guy is doing something about it. Again, this is because it's his job. I know it's crazy. Foreign policy is a thing, and it's something that the politicians are getting paid to handle on your behalf. What? No, this is... No, you do not live in a bubble? What? How come? Come on. Let's not go there, right? Let's not pretend like we're three and we do not understand how the world around us functions and how the US have been handling their foreign policy for the last couple decades, even more. Pretty much the entire foreign policy since, I don't know, the end of the World War II, I guess. Thank you, Josh. Oh my God, the White House has its own TikTok account now. Oh no, are they dancing on there? I don't want to see it. Yay, Maddie is hyping the chat up. Yeah, thank you for the tapping, everybody. Wow, already 16,000 likes and we're just getting started. We are on YouTube. Deb. It should be fine. We are already looking at an article of Trump calling Viktor Orban, the Hungarian prime minister. I just called to say I love you. No, actually he has something serious to tell him. How interesting. I am very knowledgeable. Yes. That's why my hair is so big. It's full of secrets. My background. So I have bachelor's in Japanese history, master's in political science. It was the Central Eastern European, Russian, Eurasian studies. I'm also from Crimea, so I had to live through a lot of it. So I have some knowledge. I also have my own experience, and of course that makes me biased in a way, but I've never tried to hide the fact that I'm from Crimea and that I have my own preferences and biases as a Ukrainian woman. Hi Sammy, I am well, thank you. We're live Monday, Wednesday, Friday here and YouTube. YouTube is linked in bio, okay? Oh, that's very sweet of you to say, thank you. Hi Bet, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Have I answered all the messages? And also, by the way, another reason to subscribe on other socials, not the Truth Social, I don't have it. They do not let us access it in Ukraine. Is that there is this possible upcoming TikTok ban in the US. So if you want to keep in touch, you can do that. And also the fact that apparently some people have been trying to ban my account or something. I don't know. I also have a backup account. It's in the bio. I don't think she will ever be able to return, sadly, to Donetsk. Yeah, that's highly unlikely. And you know what the tragic part is? I mean, obviously you know, but the rest of the people might not really understand it because it only comes with, lived experience through something like this. Even if you do manage to return, it's like an entirely different place. And with Donetsk especially, what they have turned it into, because I don't know if unfortunately I have forgotten if we have discussed this before, but Donetsk this is the city that has been under Russian occupation, right, since 2015. It has been cut off from water for a very long time, and recently the situation there got so dire, it's basically covered in feces, and it has all of these. One of the Russian propagandists who was covering the situation in Donetsk recently caught some sort of flesh-eating bacteria from the water because the situation there is so bad, germs-wise and stuff. Anyway, it's really bad. He got some sort of amoebas eating his eyes out. I don't even know. That used to be one of the wealthiest cities of Ukraine, right? This used to be the city of roses. It used to be, this beautiful place where we had all of these concerts by Western celebrities, like Beyonce performed in Donetsk. It sounds like an oxymoron when you say it, today. But yeah, this used to be our reality. Let me maybe show you some pictures from Donetsk before. Donetsk. Maybe we can find something. Like it was, no, unfortunately not too many pictures, but it was a decent looking city. It had life. It had, I think this is the image. No, okay, this is already what it was turned into afterwards. No, unfortunately not. I'll have to look those up, because it's usually the people who live there who post them on their own social media. They have some beautiful pictures of the place. Anyway, but yeah, it used to be nice. That's the point. You guys. It's just really, really tragic. His followers have been convinced it's the cult mentality. I know. This is troubling. It's really worrying to see this happen, and this is something. It's one of the reasons why I keep repeating. We never do this with politicians. We never idolize politicians. We always criticize them, and we always try to keep an eye out, because it's very dangerous. I know. I blocked the White House account. Understandable, everybody. I'm not blaming you. Right, exactly. That's just his job. And I keep having all of these people. Wait, what? So on Zelensky, I've already said before that I'm not a big fan, especially regarding the domestic stuff. But he's been holding up pretty great regarding all of the foreign policy stuff. And the recent meeting has been, I think my respect for him went up, because I was really worried. Anyway, everybody, so what happened? Why is Putin calling Orban? Oh, Putin, sorry. Putin is also calling Orban. Trump is calling Viktor Orban. To those of you who do not remember what the marvel that is the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban looks like, let me show you. I will remind you, everyone. I will remind you what this stunning specimen looks like. That's him. That's Viktor, being very happy that he has ruined Hungary, I guess. Anyway, that's him. Recently, we were discussing him a couple of live streams ago, and we were discussing his mansion with the zebras. You might remember the footage of the gigantic mansion that is, I think, it costs approximately 30 million euro or something like this, and it has the zebras, and it has several pools and the garden. Yeah, and right next to it, there's another mansion of Viktor Orban's best friend, and it's also like a multi-million euro mansion. Anyway, that's the guy, and thank you. And he is also known for his connections to the Kremlin. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, Trump likes him very much. He likes Trump. The feeling is mutual. His party is considered like sort of an equivalent to MAGA, I guess, in Hungary. They're not exactly the same, but yeah, there are some similarities. And so Trump calls, wait, let me see a name. My haunted left shoe. Well, this is wonderful. Thank you, my haunted left shoe. After Putin called, Trump rang Orban over Ukraine EU membership, which is top 10 plus plot twists by Watch Mojo ever. To those of you, again, who might have forgotten, Viktor Orban is the head of the anti-Ukraine EU membership party. He's the one who continues to block even the possibility of the talks regarding the Ukrainian EU membership. And so, yeah, just our enemy number one, our biggest hater. They also have a very tense relationship with Zelensky, understandably. And so apparently during the White House meeting, the European officials asked Trump to call Orban and to influence him. This has been reported by Bloomberg. And so, yeah, the US President Donald Trump called Viktor Orban on Monday following talks with the Ukrainian President Zelensky and European leaders to discuss why the Hungarian Prime Minister was blocking Ukraine's accession talks with the European Union, according to people familiar with the matter. Daddy is home, everyone. Sorry. The call grew out of discussions. Yeah, okay, we have already mentioned that. So yeah, Trump was supposed to use his influence on Orban to pressure the right-wing populist to drop his opposition to Ukraine's EU membership, which is on so many levels. Another thing that you need to remember about Viktor Orban has been spreading this agenda of basically the European Union being Hungary's number one enemy, right? The Brussels just hates Hungary, doesn't want to see Hungary succeeding. Okay, sure, Viktor. Whatever you say, I guess. So obviously he refuses to listen to the EU officials on these matters, but hey, maybe he's gonna listen to Trump, who knows? So on the call with Trump, Hungary also expressed interest in hosting a next round of talks, this is what we have already mentioned, between Russian President Putin and Zelensky. Again, would be super, super symbolic in the worst kind of way to see another Budapest memorandum being signed, knowing the history of the last one. But also it makes sense considering, how friendly to Putin Orban is and has been for a hot minute. Oh, sorry, missed some comments. Oh my god. What do you think about the letter from Zelensky's wife to Trump's wife? Could it help bring Ukrainian children back home from Russia? I feel like press isn't talking about it anymore, very rarely. So, I think the letter was more of a gesture. I think it was there to butter Trump up, and I think it worked. So those of you who do not remember, the very beginning of the Trump-Zelensky meeting 2 days ago, Zelensky hands Trump an envelope, and Trump is like, oh, what is this? And Zelensky's like, oh, it's the letter from my wife. And Trump's like, oh, really, for me? And he's like, no, it's not for you. Everyone is laughing, and Trump is also chuckling. It was like, okay. It's for your wife. So this was the letter from our First Lady, Olena Zelenska, to Melania Trump. And a lot of people are wondering, could it have some sort of impact, right? Could it potentially affect the situation? I really, really doubt it, because I don't really think Melania has as much influence over matters as people would like to think she does. It was probably more of a symbolic gesture to just bring Trump into the good mood, and which it did. He definitely liked it, so... and then also we discussed the now infamous letter from Melania to Putin. I don't know. That's another letter. A lot of letters happening. Could that letter have an impact? Also very questionable. I do not think that Putin, first of all, thinks women are people. Second of all, I don't think he responds to anything except for brute force. That's the other thing. And it just looked like a gesture merely. I don't even think he read it, if we're being honest. The entire question of the Ukrainian children who were kidnapped by the Russians, it was brought up by Ursula von der Leyen, the head of the EU Commission, at the beginning of their meeting. Remember, right? When they were doing their little Jikoshokai, how do you say Jikoshokai in English? Excuse me, sorry. Self-introduction. Their little self-introductions, and everybody at the table, all of the EU officials mentioned the issues that were important for them. And Ursula von der Leyen was the only person who mentioned the stolen children. So, this has a potential, I think, to have a bigger impact than all of those letters combined. Because if it does end up being a part of some sort of agreement, it's through these, through whatever it is that they come up with, whatever discussions they're currently holding at the highest levels. So this is basically what I'm trying to say, that this is something, this is the only door through which we could possibly still access those kids and hopefully try and bring them back. I have very low hopes. I do not think we will be able to bring most of them back. So I think that's it. So, which is extremely tragic, but we just simply do not have the tools to do this. And these kids are currently getting adopted into the Russian families and, assimilated. And in some instances, when there are family members in Ukraine who are, capable of fighting for those kids and who are stirring things up, like there was this very famous case of a kid who had a grandma still living in Ukraine, but the kid was taken into Russia anyway, and they put him up for adoption. But grandma fought like crazy, and she got the kid back because she was like so loud in the press, stirring things up. And the Russians do not like it, by the way. They like things to be all like hush hush. So that worked, but a lot of those kids do not have this type of support system. Interestingly, tragically, there is also a similarity between the prisoners of war, who are also the ones who have the support system, the ones who have, families and all of these people fighting for them here. They tend to have higher chances than the ones who do not have anyone. But that's why we have all these organizations forming, right, and trying to fight for the people who do not have perhaps personal connections, but still, deserve to be returned. By the way, while we're on the topic of exchange, remember, you guys, last time we were discussing that Trump mentioned the possibility of the prisoner exchange, and it got me all excited. He said 1,000 people are coming back home, and we were like, wow, this is fascinating. Apparently he meant the dead bodies, because there was an exchange afterwards, but it was the exchange of the dead. So right after, we had 1,000 people being returned, 1,000 bodies. Thank you, dear. And another thing is that at least for now, we already know that at least five out of those 1,000 dead were the people who they died or were killed in captivity. So those were the prisoners with some severe injuries or illnesses, and they died in the Russian captivity. And also there is another issue. Remember, we've already discussed the Russians have a tendency of sending random bodies to us. So there also have to be like additional expertise to establish whether or not these 1,000 bodies are actually of our defenders or just some randos they for some reason sent to us occasionally. So that was pretty tragic. Thank you. Very disappointing turn of events, because based on the way Trump phrased it, we all believed it was gonna be just a regular normal exchange, and no, there wasn't. Anywho, so back to Hungary. What else is there to know? I like this little snippet. The people who detailed the conversation between Trump and Orban asked not to be named, discussing private deliberation. Of course, they're gonna beat you up if they learn who's snitching on them. Orban, a close Trump ally. Also, this is a very flattering image of Orban. This is from Trump's previous term. And Trump also looks different. He's not as orange as he is right now. Anyway, a close Trump ally is widely seen as an inspiration for the US president's Make America Great Again movement and right-wing populists around the world. A pioneer. He's been a constant thorn in the EU's side. Yep, that's the perfect way to phrase it. Taking his country in an authoritarian direction. Yeah, Hungary has consistently given Russia diplomatic cover and protection against EU sanctions while obstructing aid to Ukraine. And while we're on the topic of Hungary, we also have to mention the pipeline. The oil pipeline friendship. We're going to get into this in a second. Yeah, right, Vicky, exactly. We had these instances of some bodies who were returned during these exchanges being not actually Ukrainian bodies, but being the Russians, and even having Russian documents on them. And it was extremely confusing, and we kept wondering what could the motivation be. My only explanation that I had was that perhaps it has to do with their constant attempts to inflate the numbers of our fallen. And they're always saying, we have thousands of your prisoners, which they do, they have at least, I think, a couple of thousand, but anyway, and they also had we have tens of thousands of your prisoners, we have tens of thousands of the bodies. So when they do stuff like this, it obviously helps to play into this illusion, I guess. All right. Trump's master plans is always deal with foreign policy in 2 weeks, extend TikTok for 90 days. Yeah, for now the deadline is March, right? March 2026. This is when you guys apparently will be cut off from TikTok. So follow me on YouTube if you haven't. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little bit insufferable about this one. But yeah, Hopefully YouTube isn't going anywhere. But then again, you never know with these people, right? Let's see. Hello, Nightshade. Hello, hello, hello. 6 wars. He stopped 6 wars. By the way, you guys, in case you have forgotten. Oof. Sometimes I think a lot of the politicians do, honestly. When you listen to some of the things they're saying, it's like, which planet? Which planet? Thank you, Lake Lily. Thank you, dear. Which planet do you actually exist on? Because this is not how reality works here. So what are we trying to achieve here exactly? Yeah, right, exactly, Carol. There was this attempt to destroy all of this work, the databases, the Harvard database, I think. Wait, or was it the Yale database? Anyway, they cut the funding to one of the major databases that collected the info on all of the kidnapped Ukrainian kids, which was crucial, right? It was instrumental. But who needs those things, I guess? Last time I checked, I think it was the Yale. And they were fundraising to keep the operation going through crowdfunding. Привет. Hello, Sammy. Good to see you. Carol says, please never believe anything Trump says, ever, nothing. Just in the particular case, yeah, here it was just so... It was a low blow, even on his scale, because this is something that we're all so emotional about whenever there's a prisoner exchange. And I was like, that could have such, meaning and potential and significance, and well, oh well. Thank you, Trond. Laura says, I saw newest poll from Hungary. Orban's party is dropping again. I can't imagine him not being hit. Right. And the opposition leader, what his name? Peter Magyar, I think, which is a good name, very patriotic name. He has been rising, and all of these corruption scandals are not doing any good to Orban's reputation. So that's one of the reasons. Okay, this is one of the things that they do. I think this is a very common tactic, especially among the right-wing populists. Whenever things are not looking good domestically, they immediately start looking for all of these, enemies outside. And Orban's party, they love to use Ukraine as a scapegoat and as an explanation for all the problems that Hungary has been facing. Not the 30 million euro mentions, no. That's fine. That's cool. That's actually very hot. Ukraine, of course, is the problem. The root cause of all issues. It's just, yeah, it's funny. It's funny. It's cute. Anyway, regarding the pipeline, everybody, I think I also had another link. Oop, Luffy, what are you doing here? Sorry, let me go to my bookmarks. Did I have anything on that glorious pipeline? Yep. So Ukraine has stopped the friendship, this particular article says, right? What does it mean? This is we have talked about this briefly, right? The friendship, or дружба. Дружба is friendship in Russian. It's the system of oil pipelines with a capacity of 2 million barrels per day, and it was built to transport oil from the Soviet Union to the countries in Central and Western Europe. We have discussed this, right? A very important point of influence that has been functioning since the Soviet times. It has 2 main branches, northern and southern, and the northern branch passes through Belarus, Poland, and Germany. The southern passes through Ukraine, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary. And here it's on the map. You can see how it goes all the way from somewhere, thank you, middle of the nowhere in Russia, and then it ends up here. And I think it needs no explanation for why this is such an efficient tool of influence, right? And why hooking Europe on the cheap Russian oil and natural gas has already proven itself to be a very successful tool of influence. Anyway, yeah, you can literally see how it branches out, how it, like a claw. Anyway. And yeah, this is where it enters Hungary. And it also goes through us, which is also crucial. Right, it's also a major point of, I guess, our influence on the situation, and a point of confrontations and a point of conflict between us and the Hungarian government, because they really like to accuse us of things even before we actually did something. Anyway, because we control the pipe. Oh, hi, Santa. Thank you. So yeah, it's all about the oil, you guys. It's so boring at this point. Anyway, in 1964, okay, that's too long ago, but anyway, this is when it was launched, and we are the one of the transit states on the way, and we have inherited a section of the Druzhba pipeline and other oil and gas infrastructure. And yeah, we were pumping Russian oil and also natural gas, by the way. This is a different story entirely, but it was one of our, I guess, main functions in our early years of independence. We were this transit state. We were pumping the oil and the gas, and also a lot of our corrupt politicians took their fair share of it in the past. For instance, you would have, like, one of the examples, you would have, let's say, the gas station chains owned by the politicians or someone close to them, and those gas stations would have like dirt cheap prices on their gas, and everyone's like, wait, why is it so cheap here? That's because they had access to the pipe, basically. That's because they had access to the pipe, and they could just take bits and pieces. Obviously, with Russian knowledge, it was not like them just stealing from Mother Russia. It was all done in coordination with the Kremlin. Anyway, it was this whole one of the main roots, one of the main issues of our corruption in this country. Anywho, so yeah, that's. We did receive a lot of money. We barely saw anything from that money, but. So anyway, it continued functioning, and at the start of the full-scale war, with the EU adopting this oil embargo against Russia, banning maritime supplies, of course it remained very important. It was an exception. Oil continued to be pumped through the southern branch, especially to Hungary, Slovakia, and partially to the Czech Republic. So it continued happening, and then we have a wonderful image of Putin and Orban standing next to each other. And on August 18th, our commander of the unmanned system forces, a very famous drone operator named Magyar, which is very fitting because he's from Transcarpathia originally, which is one of those, the region that Hungarians like to attempt to claim from us, saying that it's rightfully theirs and that they want to protect the Hungarian minority. And anyway, it's a bunch of nonsense. Anyway, he announced that it was hit. That pipeline was struck, which is... Thank you. Peace, son. And obviously it caused a lot of turmoil in Hungary and a lot of screeching and screaming and crying and threats even. And so basically after that strike, the Hungarian foreign minister said that Ukraine relies on the energy that Hungary is selling to us, so you better not do whatever it is that you're doing. And after that, the supplies have been restored, and Hungary now much more kindly asked us to never strike it again, please. They need the pipeline. The timing of it is interesting, right? It was all happening. Thank you, Santa. Once again, Christmas came early. The timing is interesting because it coincided, surprisingly, with this call from Trump to Orban, and yeah, it's I've already told you that some of the most important conversations are not happening in the important cabinets and offices. They're happening on the ground. So we'll see. But we'll see if this particular negotiation tactic on behalf of Ukraine will change Orban's position regarding our conversations about our accession to the European Union. Because interesting timing. Anyway, that's just something that I think I'm one of the 3 people in the world who's interested in stuff like this, so we can just move on and we can get to the drone that hit Poland, everybody, the main event of the day. Let me open an article. What a nice Polish dziadek. Thank you. Yay. It's a cake. A nice looking Polish dziadek who's going to tell us everything there is to know about the Russian drone flying into Poland, which is a NATO country, of course, to those of you who do not remember. I'm going to keep up with the chat first. Have I missed any annoying people? Disney says, I don't think any of this is funny. I must be missing something. I'm not entirely sure what to tell you. Could you... I don't know. I don't think... Here, though, an important thing to remember, right? If you would like to be a part of our team of people, we laugh at everything, almost everything. Of course, there are some things we do not laugh at, but all of this stuff happening on the ground, yeah, we like to poke fun at stuff like this, because otherwise we could lose our minds if we would not. All right? So, don't know what else to tell you. Hi, Rocco. Thank you. Thank you. Santa's here. Thank you, Rocco. Yay. Right, Soviets love naming things дружба. Everything is дружба, progress. What else? Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, everybody. Very nice and kind as always. Round of applause. Thank you. Maddie's also reminding everyone to tap. Thank you, Pat. Hello. Carol says, I was thrilled to see a snarky response from Noble. He's not eligible no matter how much he... He can create his own. He can create his own prize. Call it something else. I don't know. Trump Prize of Greatness, and give himself all of them. So, yeah. Hello, Gemma. How are you doing? Oh my god. If you do not like how I talk about things, you can scroll. Is anyone forcing you to be here? Am I in your bedroom with a knife? And continue watching me? You can just leave. You can leave and watch the people who are not laughing ever, you know, and you can sit with them. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. Just do that, please. Jeez, like I'm forcing them, honestly. I do not understand. I don't understand. You're free people. Thank you, Pat. You're free countries. Unless you are watching me from North Korea or something, which I seriously doubt. Anyway. The Polish drone, right? Oh, Dr. Chris, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Pat. Thank you. Sorry, I cannot do this. Thank you, guys. No, but like for real. What is going on? Thank you, Josh and Zoe. I cannot handle this anymore. It's like, a couple of lives ago we had someone annoyed at my hair. Then we had someone annoyed at my... Thank you, Carol. At my laughter. And now it's again, how dare you laugh at the Druzhba pipeline burning? I don't know what to tell you. Should I cry? Oh my god. Especially after this just... Okay, no, we're not doing that. We're talking about the drone, everyone. Let's discuss the drone. So, is this the first instance of a drone flying into a NATO country? No. Is this the last one? No. Also no. So what happened was, at first, the locals reported explosions. Let's watch the video. I hope it loads. If not, I think I also have it. Okay. This is Poland, everybody. We're currently looking at Poland. We're also live on YouTube, a reminder.
Ogromny błysk, ogromny huk, uszkodzone budynki, jak informują służby. W jednym z nich wybite szyby, 2 pozostałe będą jeszcze poddane oględzinom, żeby sprawdzić, jakie w nich zniszczenia. Wszystko działo się w polu kukurydzy, pole zostało wypalone na średnicy około 8-10 metrów, ale co też mówią służby, które są...
Anyway, one more time. So we're seeing an explosion, right? We're seeing this light we're hearing the sound, obviously very loud bang, and what he's commenting is basically that so far, at that point at least, there was no information, right, about the damage to the houses. The thing, whatever that was, at first they were calling it an unidentified object, that it dropped in the cornfield and burned several dozen square meters of the field. And yeah, at first everyone was just confused, right? Because it was in the middle of the night. People heard something exploding. People couldn't understand what it was. Let me translate the article for you guys, right? Just the explosion, the entire house shook, which reminded me, that time when we had like missile strikes in our area, because this is exactly what happened. It's like very loud bang, and then the entire house is shaking, everything's shaking. So yeah, this was one of the local residents. The village is called Osin. It's close, the closest major city in Poland to this place is Lublin. It's this pretty major city in the eastern Poland, right? This is where it is. This is where Warszawa, this is Warsaw. So yeah, but it's significantly closer to Lublin, where it happened. To those of you, this is, as you guys can see, this is border with Ukraine, right? So Ukraine is right here. This is Lutsk. So yeah, we're talking about 100 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border. So yeah, I know. Even before you say anything, right? Crazy stuff. Then police received the reports about these explosions from the locals. No one understood what that meant. They found some metal, they found some plastic in the field. Among all of the people who were commenting on this, all the
Siedziałem
locals.
w pokoju u siebie w domu, była, nie wiem, gdzieś
Wait, where's
12
Dziadek?
w nocy, tak około północy było. No i po prostu strzał straszny. Jak coś po prostu wybuchło, aż się dom cały zatrząsł. No ale to w nocy, no to nie wiadomo co to, więc trzeba
Yeah,
było
loud
rano,
noise.
no to tyle
You couldn't tell
wiadomo.
what it was.
I tyle.
No zerwaliśmy się z tego i nie wiedzieliśmy co się dzieje. Wyskoczyliśmy na dwór, no i
This
mówię, wojna czy co?
Grandpa.
No, cholery.
what is it, war?
No ogromny, proszę pana, jak miejscowość krzywda jest 11 km, to było słychać, ludzie przyjeżdżali, no to...
Anyway, just so yeah, they're just describing what they heard and what they saw, but yeah, I really like this gentleman. He's just like a very classic, I think, Polish dziadek that you can find in Eastern Poland if you guys have ever been to there. So yeah, for now, I think the recent confirmation was that it's most likely it is a Shahed drone. But this report from Rzeczpospolita says that it still says that it's an unidentified object, but they're also specifying that according to unofficial information of the newspaper, the object was most likely a Shahed-class drone used by the Russians in the war with Ukraine. So, and this is an image from the cornfield, and reporters and the police and everyone is in the cornfield in... Thank you, Gemma. Is it absolutely devastating? 100%. But at the same time, those of you who have been watching, you remember that just a couple of weeks ago we had the similar instance in Lithuania, right? Where it was a decoy drone, also a Shahed, you can say, I guess, a Shahed type drone. Yes, we're also live on YouTube. Thank you, Zoe, for the reminder. It's linked in bio. And this is where you can look at the nice Polish dziadek and, the rest of the stuff. So, not the first time, unfortunately not the last time it has happened. In Lithuania, it also caused some ruckus. The problem in Lithuania was that it hit pretty close to the... Although the drone was decoy and it was down or it fell, I'm not sure don't remember what happened to it exactly. It was much closer to the capital city of Vilnius, because that's where Vilnius is located. It's located very close to the border with Belarus. And the Lithuanian government had to hide in the shelter because there was a threat. And here, by the looks of it, it just sort of flew into the country in the middle of the night, scared the dziadek and the rest of the people in the area, and it just went boom. So... Although there is a possibility that they might not be clarifying what happened, maybe it was the air defense of some sort that got it. honestly, it would make sense that they wouldn't give us too many details on the matter. But still, it just sucks seeing this stuff happening in the NATO countries, honestly. And it's not the first instance when something like this has happened. Back in 2022, there was a missile that flew again into eastern Poland, killed 2 people, 2 Polish farmers, and it was sort of kind of brushed, just brushed to the side, swept under the rug. Everyone said, it was just a stray missile. It was a Ukrainian missile, by the way. It was not, no, Russians had nothing to do with it. So it's fine, it's cool. And now we continue seeing all of these instances of drones flying in. I don't know, it's just very, very disheartening seeing this type of stuff continuing to escalate. Look at the Dadek, though. Like, I don't know. Anyway, and we also had some other eyewitnesses.
Nawet w oborach drzwi zostały wyrzucone.
Nie wiem jaka duża siła, szyby do w połowy potłuczone wyleciały od strony wybuchu. Jedna od strony wybuchu i 2 tak bardziej tutaj z przodu w drzwiach. Więcej nic.
But they're basically just clarifying, what kind of explosion it was and stuff like this. So obviously they wouldn't give us, a comment on, what type of drone this was or anything. So yeah, you guys, I know. Everyone is so sweet telling me to keep laughing. Thank you. Thank you, guys. People, Thomas, you're not gonna believe it. People are upset about all kinds of things. I had people upset about every single feature of my face and my voice and my hair and the way I dress and everything. Especially back in the day when, when I got a lot of views, which is one of the reasons why I really like the way things are right now, but I also know it's not going to last forever. But we're going to enjoy it while it lasts. Right, Carol, spot on, exactly. The beginning, when the missile landed, and when we were reporting on this and asking what is happening and how could this be possibly happening to a NATO member, we were called warmongers, and Ukraine is trying to provoke the World War III, the regular stuff, the huge. Right, exactly. I remember that happening. And I remember back then I was thinking something must happen. There has to be some sort of response. They're not gonna let it slide. 2 people of a NATO country were killed. They're not like us, the regular plebs. They're the NATO people. No. Okay, well, whatever. To those of you who just joined on YouTube, I'm gonna show the footage of the drone exploding one more time. So apologies to those who have already seen it. Just because I know a couple people just jumped from TikTok to YouTube, so yeah, that's what it looked like, basically. That's just from someone's camera in the area. So, yeah. Considering the fact that it was 100 kilometers deep into the Polish territory, I have real doubts that it was the air defense that actually got it. One important thing to keep in mind, whenever we're having major air raid alerts in Ukraine, which we are having pretty often these days, Poland does raise its jets, its fighter jets into the air. And they're usually just they're raised into the air and they hang out for a bit. They do not intercept any missiles. They kind of observe the missiles hitting Ukraine. And then they go back to their bases. To those of you who do not know. So, yeah, and whenever this would happen, a lot of us would be so pissed, right? What's the point of these? What are you even doing? But then again, you would also think, okay, they're being raised into the air for their own defense. They're defending Polish territory. It all totally makes sense. If there is a threat to Polish territory, they're definitely going to intercept whatever it is that's got. Fingers crossed they did. I really hope that it was intercepted. Because otherwise, no, I'm not subscribing for 15 zloty. No, we're not doing that. Anyway, a reminder to those of you again who just joined, this is the location we're talking about, right? So this is Ukraine, right? This is Ukraine right here. This is Belarus, and this is Lublin, and about, I think it was 40 kilometers from... Thank you, Richard. Good to see you. About 40 kilometers away from Lublin, we had this strike next to the village of Osin. Yeah, I know. Before you even say anything, I know. Oh, hi, Direwolf. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, skip some messages. Let me know if there's anything important I have missed. Someone yelling at me. No one's yelling. Yeah, the avocado tree is no longer with us. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what happened. He caught something, some sort of disease. I don't know how he could possibly do that, sitting in my room all the time. So we now have the lemon. It's right here. It's my lemon. Hopefully he will be fine. Don't you dare die on me. Yeah, so he's sitting here. I don't know if he will ever get to the size of the avocado tree. Let me move him closer next to the tofu. But yeah, the avocado tree, I know. Rest in power. What is the significance about that location? Absolutely no significance, right? So, Deb, this is just a cornfield in the middle of nowhere, at least by the looks of it, and the drone dropped into the cornfield. So this is why I have some hopes that perhaps it was intercepted, and this is why it fell, because it could have been not necessarily just hit by some sort of, rocket or whatnot. It could be intercepted with the radio electronic warfare, which is also something that, for instance, our troops commonly use. But yeah, I already know what the explanation is going to be. They're going to say that it was a stray drone, it meant nothing. It was just a mistake. It was clearly meant for the Ukrainian infrastructure, so it's all good. But this is obviously the gradual pushing of the red lines that we're seeing once again. Unfortunately, I hate to see it. Whether or not there were any sort of military objects in the vicinity, I am not entirely sure. They're not specifying anything. I really hope there wasn't. But then again, I do not think that drone was sent there to hit like a military base or, a storage. These little things that we're seeing, a random drone in Lithuania, a random drone in Poland and Romania, a Russian jet crossing into Estonian airspace, like all of the stuff that we're seeing, plus all of the sabotage of the European infrastructure, the spy FPVs in Germany. There's recently been a plague, apparently, of just some random FPV drones being flown by the military facilities in Germany. What is happening? People probably just filming the sites, right? All of this, of course, it's a part of a larger pattern. It's the Russians they're just pushing the red lines, and they're testing the grounds, and they're seeing what they can get away with. And for now, we can see that they can get away with a lot, unfortunately. So, but no, this is not a direct, attack, because this is not how they function. They're just testing. They're testing. Seeing what the response is going to be like. And for now, there is no response. Right, exactly. Right, testing, see the reaction. This is what they do. This is what Putin does, what the Kremlin, this was before, this was the Soviet Union did, so I was really surprised. Lemon seedlings, well, that's nice. That's nice. We need more lemons. We need more lemons in this world, I believe. This is I used to be a major lemon person. I used to have a lemon shirt and lemon earrings and all kinds of lemon stuff when I was living in Japan. So yeah, I had a lemon era, I guess, a lemon phase. When life gives you lemons, just make lemonade. I know, I love the saying. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't think exactly. Clay points out that this thing needs a lot of sun. So does the avocado tree, by the way. It does not thrive in our climate here on the swamps. Honestly, no one does. Only the beavers do. I don't really like it here either, but at least it's quiet. Okay, some other things I wanted to discuss while we're at it. While we were talking about the strikes, we have had a massive strike on our territory, in particular the city of Kremenchuk. We had a pretty big attack. So as you can see here on the video, the smoke was covering half the city at the very least. There were dozens of explosions reported. Sorry, I keep moving the mouse and then it blocks the video. But yeah, you can see the smoke. Several infrastructure objects were targeted in that strike. Come on, show me the smoke. YouTube, everybody. We're also on YouTube. This is where we're looking at the horrifying things. Several infrastructure objects. Once again, of course, they're trying to take out our power infrastructure. No one is surprised about that one. 1,500 people approximately were left with no power after this attack. So yeah, that's the result of the strikes that we're witnessing here. Some parts of the country. So yeah, it's better when they hit the cornfields, you know. Yeah, this is from the same place. This is the rescuers working. Wait, I had something else I wanted to. Yes, this was an attack on Sumska Oblast in the east. So this is the residential area burning from a drone strike. It was a mass drone strike in the town of Okhtyrka in Sumska Oblast at night. So it was practically simultaneously with that stray drone flying into Poland and hitting the cornfield. In Ukraine, yeah, the drones hit the residential area and 14 people were injured, including kids. This is the houses burning, as you can see, and the rescuers working in the area. So, of course, yeah, one of the reasons why the entire stray drone explanation even works is because whenever the Russians are sending these barrages of drones and missiles, I guess, yeah, inevitably some of them might stray away, and end up in the places they were not meant for originally. So we had 230 drones, we had 2 Iskander missiles, we had 4 Ha-101 missiles. So yeah, you know, you already know the drill, you guys. If you've been following me for some time, you know that this is a daily occurrence almost. It's just the numbers that differ. Alright, something else we wanted to talk about. Yes, on the security guarantees. The $100 billion in weapons. We're gonna get to that. Where did you learn English? So, it's compulsory at schools here. So, we all have to learn it. But it depends, of course. It depends on the quality of your classes, how good your teacher is. It depends on the textbooks, on many different factors at play here. In my particular case, I also kind of dedicated myself to it deliberately at the tender age of, 12, 13, when I decided, okay, I really need to focus on this. So, yeah. But this is what we do. We learn English. And also in some schools we have French and German, depending on the school. So yeah. No, I mean, some people just don't know. Hi, Counselor Cat Mom. Good to see you. Some people are just, they have, you know, maybe they just do not even think about stuff like this. It depends. It depends. But yeah, I think that's the case in most places globally. We have to learn English. Just the results vary depending on how committed you are and how motivated you are. Homemade limoncello. Oh, that's wonderful. You instantly remembered the taste, the little sour aftertaste in my mouth. I haven't had it in a very long time, but then again, I don't really drink these days. But yeah, when I did, I sure loved me some limoncello. Have you heard the song Lemon Tree? It's an old American song. I think I did. We definitely... Wait, if that's the one, but all that I can see is just a yellow lemon tree. Is that the one, or is there another one? Maybe there's another one. Lemons are appealing. We have a lot of people who love lemons. I'm very happy about it. Lemon appreciation. Ah. When I was in Germany and the women said they don't speak English, it means they're not interested. No, I mean, from my experience, okay, it depends. So, for instance, when the French people say they do not speak English, it usually means they do speak English, but they don't want to speak English, just because, I don't know, they're French, I guess, and it's a thing that they do. With Italians, when they say they don't speak English, they usually actually genuinely don't speak English, but then they still try to communicate, no matter what, and they will use all the, 10 words they know and a lot of gesturing and a lot of facial expressions trying to get the point across. But yeah, with Germans, I haven't really... No, I mean, the Germans that I know, that they were my classmates in grad school. Of course, they spoke English. Our program was in English, so... Two baby figs. Yes, lemon next, please. Have me craving a lemon cake. That would be good too, huh? I know. Do you really think the US would stand up for Ukraine for security deal? I don't think they will stand up for us. I think they're gonna strike a deal of sorts with Europeans, and then they will have to. Not to the extent that I think a lot of, especially fearmongers and warmongers, would make you believe, but it's definitely gonna be some sort of commitment. But we will see what it's gonna look like in the future. At this point, I'm not sure about anything, right? We're just perceiving things as they happen. We try to obviously analyze, and sometimes we do little predictions, but most of the things that are happening is just everything is on this constant roll, and and it's also like there's shooting in all directions, and it's just so totally and utterly unpredictable. All of the players are very difficult to read for various reasons, mainly because there is a war, and when there is an active state of war, there is the fog of it, and also certain characters being the way they are. Really, really hard to analyze this stuff, honestly. Do I, Carol, really? British sort of accent. Well, this is what I was supposed to have originally. I was supposed to have the British accent. Then the American media intervened, and now I have, I don't know what this is, what this accent even is. Hard to say. Something. It's a chimera of sorts. It's an accent. But yeah, originally we were supposed to be taught like proper British English, which although to be fair, up until a certain point in time there was a certain British media dominance. There were all these British shows that everybody was watching up until I think like 2012. There was like BBC Sherlock and Skins, and obviously Harry Potter was huge. Everybody was watching and reading, but yeah, then it's just poof, and it was the American media dominance immediately with the shows. In particular, it was the shows. Everyone was watching shows from the States, like Breaking Bad, for instance, and The Sopranos, and all the sitcoms, How I Met Your Mother, Friends, The Big Bang Theory, everything. It was like all the rage when I was 18. Oh, Misha. Mish is with us today, but she doesn't want to show her face. Okay. I can hear the American influence in your accent. I thought maybe you went to school there. No, I've never been to the States. The only English-speaking place I've ever been to is Scotland. It was Glasgow during my time, during my grad school time. But that was already, it's a bit weird because before that I already managed to teach English in Japan for a year and a half, and then only after that I finally came to an English-speaking country for the first time, which was super exciting. But that was only because I won a scholarship and I could finally afford it. Before that it was all me and my Breaking Bad. Okay, so that's a different Lemon Tree song. Several people in the chat are pointing out. Sorry, everybody. Then I'm not sure which one that is. Typically, it's older people that mostly speak their native language in Europe, but younger speak other than just native language. Right, yeah, that's definitely tends to be the case. I've noticed this. Well, in Poland, that's definitely the case, just based on my experience with them. But yeah, I think that's probably the case in most places. I'm just trying to think. When was the last time I talked to young people? I don't know. All right, let's get into this article. So 100 billion in weapons. What is going on, right? Will we... What is happening? We will, in a moment, let's discuss. Another important thing to come out of the Washington meet and greet with Trump and his merch store. So apparently they have agreed on a $100 billion weapons sale, which we have discussed before. The Pearl mechanism, I think it's called something like this. I hope you get the missiles you need. Oh, thank you. Thank you, little soul. This is actually very sweet. We do need a lot of missiles. Mostly air defense. Wait, what? There's an interesting language conversation happening. Norway people born right before or after World War II speak only domestic language. That makes sense, right? I think. My Spanglish is strong, says Josh. That's pretty cool. Honestly, not gonna lie. Did you watch Outlander? No, I did see a lot of memes though, so does that count? Edinburgh next year. Oh, enjoy, Gemma. It's wonderful. I loved it there. I loved it in Scotland. I had some wonderful time there. I wish it wasn't during the COVID lockdown. It would have been much better. Zoe says the performance anxiety experience in France. I pretended Spanish was my first thing. You guys are cracking me up. A lot of people got limoncello in the fridge. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, you guys. Okay, sorry. The boring stuff first. All right, 100 billion in weapons. So what is it gonna look like? This is a proposal. This is a proposal by Kiev. So we'll see if that's actually gonna work. But this perfectly aligns with what we have previously discussed regarding the Trump initiative with the entire, no more. How did they call it? No more handouts, no more blank checks, like all of this stuff. And the deal that they are calling like selling the weapons, that first was the Europeans were gonna buy the weapons, then it was the NATO was gonna buy the weapons. So, a lot of vague language here, but yeah, it's just going to be a different mechanism. In this particular proposal, right, it's a promise to buy, which I really like the phrasing here. Ukraine will promise to buy 100 billion of American weapons financed by Europe. Nice. I love it when we're doing the same thing, the same confusing language thing that Trump is doing. So yeah, it's not going to be us buying anything, apparently. If this goes through, it's going to be our dear European partners doing this for us. Anyway, in a bid to obtain US guarantees for its security, right? So now it's like, okay, what can we do possibly to get the US to give us any guarantees whatsoever? All right, humiliating but also predictable, because yeah, what else can we do in the circumstances? Under the proposal, Kyiv and Washington would also strike a $50 billion deal to produce drones with Ukrainian companies that have pioneered the technology since the beginning of the Russian full-scale invasion in 2022. This is something that is good and makes a lot of sense. This is, I think, currently... I remember when Trump in February was yelling at Zelensky that, you don't have any cards! That's the card that we actually have. We are currently, I think... I don't know anyone knows as much as we do about the drone warfare. Well, the Russians, but obviously the Russians, I don't think will be sharing their experience with America, no matter how much making out Trump and Putin do. So yeah, this could be definitely something productive. There is, the idea is definitely good on paper. Anyway, Kyiv shared the proposals with the US, but yeah, for now we don't really have an answer to that, so we will have to see. We will have to see about that. And it does not specify which weapons. That's because we no longer do that, thankfully, which is good. We should have stopped a long time ago. But Kyiv has been clear, that's in the past, about wanting to buy more Patriot air defense systems, which have been incredible. As Trump told us himself, 99 to 100% precision. Jokes aside, wonderful systems. And they have been improved drastically here on the battlefield using the new data, using the... just basically seeing them tested against the actual hypersonic missiles, the ballistics, like everything the Russians have been throwing at us. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see if this proposal will be accepted. But yeah, we're trying. You see, we're trying to play Trump, I guess, because this is where we are, unfortunately, right now, collectively as a country. Oh my god, half the country is already red. I have missed everything. We already had, I think, 2 air raid alerts today as well. But yeah, for now it hasn't gotten to us yet. It's just the east and some of the southern regions as well. Oh, Christ. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. That would be nice. That would be nice. We'll see. Answer the phone in Hungarian. This could also count as Ukrainian. So, how about that? Right, Carol, have you noticed? It's always around this time. Yeah, it's the Russians telling us good night, as we like to call it, I guess. I know. Oh my god, almost 60,000 likes, everybody. Thank you. You are popping off today, everyone. US and UK saying air support only and no boots on the ground. Yeah, they're going to be saying a lot of things in the upcoming days, right? There's going to be a lot of this rhetoric. They're going to be testing it. They're going to be sending it out into the information space and also looking at the reactions. But we will see. We will see. Something might come out of this. Nothing might come out of this. The next couple of weeks will show us where we will end up regarding any sort of actual security guarantees, any response. Also, oh my god, I completely forgot. Did you guys know that Trump's compared Crimea to Texas? So yeah, it was something like along the lines of, I'm not entirely sure if he actually meant the size here, or maybe he just meant as in the stature and the importance, but yeah. So it was basically comparing Crimea to Texas and stating that it's in the middle of the ocean, which it's not. It's not. Let me just tell you once and for all, it's not. We have a wonderful... Jesus Christ, this is an automatic translation from Trump's Truth Social of him saying that... Yeah, did he actually say that it's huge? Wait.
Я не віддав їм Крим. Крим величезний, я б сказав, як розміром з Техас, чи щось таке.
Oh my god, it's one of those awful AI translations when they mimic the voice, but they make it in a different language. I don't like that. No, I'm against that deeply. Anyway, Crimea is not as huge as Texas. Those of you who are now on YouTube, you are seeing this is what Texas is. If you put it on top of Ukraine, it's pretty much the entirety of Ukraine. So, although it would be fun to imagine Crimea being as big, no, Crimea is barely this southern tip of Texas in size. And no, it's not in the middle of the ocean. It's the Black Sea that surrounds Crimea. I felt like I needed to clarify as someone who is from there. This ain't Texas. Nope. The Belarusian army activities on the border have been... it's been something that is ongoing, and this is something that everyone is keeping an eye out. The main event is supposed to start in September. The trainings, military drills with joint Russian, Belarusian military drills at the border. We're waiting for them sometime in September. After then, we can, I guess, relax a little bit and go, whew. But yeah, we'll see. If I'm being very honest, by this point in time, no one was really... Well, we, the civilians, were not really taking this seriously anymore because it's impossible to live like you're constantly on edge with these people. So we're just gonna, we're taking it one day at a time. And we'll see. But yeah, I don't think the military is relaxing at all. There's been some fortifications. There have been some trenches dug out, occasionally with the help of beavers. So Trump does an amazing job at dealing psychic damage with this. And this is such a weird thing to comment on, even. Like, why would you do that? Why would you set yourself up like this? I understand he just says so many things all the time and every single day that he doesn't really care anymore, I guess, but come on now. It's not even close. Okay. Yeah, now you know, guys. If you had any doubts, now you know that Crimea is not like Texas. Jay, Ghost of Kiva. Ghost of Kiva. Ghost of Kiva. Who's Kiva? Hi, Kansas. Kansas Steve, was it? Wait, how do I check? Why do I still not know how to check the names of the people? Wait. How do I... Kansas Steve! Yes, I remembered. Correct. Haha. Thank you. Wait, Ghost of Kiva. Ghost of Kiva. What does it mean? Ghost of Kiev or Ghost of Kiva? Because we had this Russian... We had this traitor who was working for Russia. His name was Kiva, Ilya Kiva. He fled for Moscow, I think, at some point in time, and then he was found dead in Moscow. Is it him, or is it... I'm not sure. All my exes live in Texas. Okay. Okay, I see. So what you mean the pilots, right? The Ghost of Kiev from the... So as we later found out, this was the collective name for all of the pilots who were holding the air defense of Kiev and fighting all of these air combats at the beginning of the war. So it's an actual... It's like a collective name, I guess. But there was also a footage from the video game that went viral on Twitter, because people cannot tell apart, at least by that point in time, a lot of people couldn't tell apart the real battle footage and the fake one. So I don't think that's on us. That's just... Even up until recently, actually, sometimes it happens. When this whole India-Pakistan clash was happening, there was a similar instance. There were people posting footage from the video games and be like, look at what India is capable of, shut up. No, enough. Yeah, just a reminder, you guys. Apparently Crimea is just like Texas. Now you know. Also, did you know that Russia's planning to throw its version of Eurovision, the European Song Contest, from which they have been banned, call it Intervision, and one of the possible competitors there could be the United States. How about that? That could be interesting. None of the other Western countries have volunteered, but apparently the US considers it, so how fun would that be? I hope you guys send Kanye West for this wonderful occasion. By the way, Azerbaijan and United Arab Emirates refused to participate. But the US is still considering, participating in Putin's singing competition, because why not? I guess by this point in time, might as well do that. Really? Oh, interesting. No, I mean, I can agree on one particular point. A lot of this footage, especially recently, some of the video game footage that we have been seeing recently, it does look pretty realistic. And considering how, blurry some of the footage that gets from the front lines tend to be, okay, maybe I can see that, but not fully though. So okay, what else have I missed? Texas was sold. Maybe that was you think there's a deeper meaning here? I think he's just slightly confused as always, but who knows? Maybe there is something going on there. Okay, yeah, Professor Green's also pointing that out. Both Mew and Professor Green pointing out that Texas technically can secede from the United States. Oh, is Trump being deep here? Oh no. Oh my god, Texas. What? Oh, I don't think we're gonna do that though. Didn't the Soviet Union have this kind of contest back in the days? Now that I think so, there was the singing. Was like Nova Volna or something. The new. I don't really remember, unfortunately. But there were some competitions in the Soviet Union. Wait, let me see. Okay. СССР песенный конкурс. Yalta 91, Sochi 69, the International Festival of the what? There was a lot of those apparently. Okay, so in 1961 they had the International Festival of the Songs of the Youth, but we will not be able to see this because unfortunately YouTube refuses to show stuff when I'm on stream. There was the competition in Yalta. Okay, there were many musical festivals, apparently. The Red Carnation Musical Festival. The Red Carnation was an international youth festival of political song in Sochi, USSR, from 1961 to 1990. And then it was turned into an international... Oh, thank you, Josh. Oh, this is adorable. Thank you. Can I participate in the Red Carnation Festival now? I think I can. I think I will qualify. Thank you. Anyway, what was it? So yeah, and later it was turned into the International Festival of the National Patriotic Song in Russia, starting from 2014, the year when they occupied Crimea. Okay, they do a lot of that, I guess. But yeah, this is going to be a new one. This is going to be a new one. Oh, wait. There was the Intervidение as well. Mu, you were right. What is happening? It also has a French name? What? What? Yep, it was very much a thing. Mu, you are good. You are so much better than me at this. You should be streaming instead of me. International Radio and Television Organization. Wow. What? Yeah, okay, so they're bringing that one back. And America is going to be a part of it now, so... I don't know, how do we feel about this? Do we... do we like it? Do we like that this is happening? I'm not sure about that. Okay, yeah, so they're just... I thought they came up with something new. Once again, they're just bringing back the old annoying Soviet stuff. Yeah, so they send out a bunch of invitations to a number of European countries, as well to the United States. And yeah, so this year all continents will be represented at the competition, which clearly demonstrates a global interest in the format. Unfortunately, some countries were unable to take part because of internal reasons, lack of time for the preparation, and tight schedule. Yeah, because of that, sure. Whatever you say, you keep saying to yourself, sweetie. Yeah, okay. Madagascar is gonna be there. I like to move it, huh? How about that? Okay, anyway, so there's gonna be Belarus, Venezuela, Vietnam, Egypt, India, Kazakhstan, Qatar, China, Colombia, Cuba, Kyrgyzstan, Madagascar, King Julian, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Serbia, USA, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and South Africa. So, I really hope, once again, that it's going to be Kanye West making an appearance. Exciting stuff, everybody, for all of us, collectively. Anyway. They're salty about the Olympics, and they're salty about the Eurovision, too. Because they really liked the Eurovision, they liked participating in it, and they genuinely do not understand why they cannot do this anymore, because when they occupied Crimea, it was fine, right? After the annexation of Crimea, they continued participating. After the beginning of the war in Donbass, they continued participating, and now all of a sudden it's not okay anymore. Yeah. All right. Okay, this is also something that I wanted to. It's from the last live stream. I will, in a moment. In a moment, I will. I know, you guys. It's weird. It's weird. There's still a possibility that hopefully it's not gonna happen. That maybe the U.S. will not do this. That they will pull out in the last moment. But also, something is telling me that someone's gonna show up and do a performance of sorts. They could send Azalea Banks. Hi, Em. Thank you. Good seeing you. Going to Russia is not a priority. I know. Who could have thought? I could have thought that people had lives and didn't want to go to, middle of nowhere, Syktyvkar or something. Where are they going to hold it? Probably in Moscow. Okay, let's be real. Right. Wouldn't that be nice? No, they're not going to do that. They're going to continue participating in the Eurovision. Finland also have one Intervision. What? Is everyone aware of the Intervision except for me? What is going on? What? Okay, this makes sense then. So it's like a big thing and they try to make it happen again. It's not gonna happen, Gretchen. Don't try to make fetch happen. This is something that last time we discussed, that I mentioned. So, remember there's a moment from the new Superman movie, right? With an old lady and her turtle. And the refugee lady is rescuing her turtle, and it got a lot of people mad because this is not how the war works. People are not rescuing their turtles during war, and we discussed that. Actually, they do. People rescue their pets, and I told you that there was even a part in the movie 20 Days in Mariupol, which I recommend you watch, but just trigger warning. Obviously, it's very hard, very complicated watch. Very difficult watch. And this is the shot that I was talking about this turtle named Vasya from Mariupol. And it says, Vasya wants to survive too, right? Where did you get him? He's our pet. Right? You cannot just abandon him. And if you remember what the people in Mariupol had to go through, just the hunger, no electricity, no just anything, constant shellings, just thousands of dead in the streets, and also the looting and the crime, because of course the moment any sort of order disappears, also this starts happening, and then the Russian advances and the occupation and the horror of it all, right? The story of Vasya becomes even more touching. So yeah, and I immediately started thinking, I wonder if they got inspired directly by this story, because this movie, I think it's a documentary, more of a documentary. 20 Days in Mariupol. It was pretty big in the West. It won an Oscar for a documentary, I think. So maybe it was directly influenced by Vasya. Vasya the turtle. This is adorable. Oh well. I know. I try not to think about this too, but whenever I see the images of the forests just being completely obliterated from their artillery, just breaks my heart into a million pieces. Oi, oi. We have Scipio Africanus saying many parts of Mariupol have been rebuilt and many have moved back. Nothing about this is okay, though. It doesn't make anything that has happened to Mariupol okay. You cannot destroy people's houses, people's homes, obliterate their entire lives, kill them, then don't even bury them properly, build on top of those homes, build new homes, move in new people, settlers from God knows where, and claim that nothing ever happened. This is not how life works, right? This is not how it should be. We cannot just pretend, oh, nothing happened because we just did all that, because we rebuilt on top of a mass grave and we brought a couple from Buryatia and they're now living here and it's all good. It's not. Thank you, Mihaela. Thank you. I know they are trying to make Mariupol their poster child for their occupation, as they like to do. They like to pull out this little performance. See, hey, look, they're buildings and they're brightly colored, and there's a coffee shop in the center, and it's all over TikTok, by the way. There are all of these, I don't know who the hell they are, these people pretending to be like super excited to live here. Well, maybe some of them actually are, who knows. For some people, the bar is on the floor. But no, this is not how things are done in the civilized society. This is insane, and no one is falling for this. Are you from Poland? No, I'm from Ukraine. I'm very close to Poland, though, because I'm in Volynska Oblast, but I'm from Crimea originally, so... Jesus Christ. Oh... They rebuild, you guys, so it's fine, right? It's fine. If you rebuild, you can kill as many people as you want. And it's, the contrast between, I just told you, right, a lot of this propagandist footage is up on TikTok and on social media. And also from time to time you get videos from the survivors of Mariupol, them posting their experience, because they didn't have Wi-Fi, obviously, but they were filming. The kids who were there, the teenagers who were there, they were filming. So you get this footage of the propaganda, like, oh, we're rebelling, look at this new coffee house at the center of the... Well, obviously they speak in Russian, they're not speaking English. Like, the coffee house at the center of Mariupol, it's so wonderful, it's so pretty, so beautiful, so incredible. And then you scroll and it's someone showing their destroyed home, their mom, trying to cook some food on literal open fire, and... These people will be traumatized for life. The ones who made it out of there, they will be permanently traumatized. They will never heal from this experience. They had to live through a literal siege. Something that we thought could only happen in the, I don't know, in the books about Middle Ages, and something that you learn about from history. I will never forget and never forgive them for what they did to Mariupol. This is no way in hell. All right, everyone. Let's see. Yeah, that really took me out of it. I didn't think it would. Every single time now we're discussing all these horrible things, and I'm, I somehow managed to stay composed, but this is something that's definitely, that's the way to get to me, I guess. We found my weakness. Oh well. A couple more things that I wanted to discuss before the end of the live stream. Surprisingly, the UK, could you, if we have anyone from the UK, could you please explain to me what is happening? Why is Zelensky so popular? Apparently there was a polling in the... And if you look at these numbers, the only two people who have, like, the positive evaluation of sorts is Zelensky and King Charles. I was very confused about this one for a moment there. No one else is popular. No one else has any sort of good things. For instance, Trump is at minus 61. Putin is at minus 86. Trump is at minus 61. Vance, JD, the couchman, at minus 55. Bibi, the baby killer Netanyahu, is at minus 50. Then you have all of these local politicians, also like minus 47, minus 44. Then you have King Charles at plus 28. And then you have Zelensky at plus 49. This is something that I was just genuinely so confused about. Like, what is going on? What is happening? I thought that by this point in time, most of the people got tired of him. But apparently no. Apparently people in the UK love him. I don't think we have a lot of people in the UK from the UK today in the chat, but if we do, please tell me. I'm dying to hear. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, it's more of popularity for Ukraine, right? Rather than... Okay, then I approve. I approve this message. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, dear. I approve this message then. Because I was confused. I was confused for a moment there. I was like, really? Still? After all this time? Always? Okay. Okay, sure. But then again, right, I think any sane individual would probably see him as first and foremost the representative of us collectively and not just him hanging out. yeah, that he has a job to do on the international stage, and this is what he's doing. By the way, this is him after the briefing at the White House. Thank you, Maddie. Looking not very happy. He looks exhausted. Oh my god. This is the first time I think I have seen him in a natural light in a while. He looks absolutely exhausted. Jesus. So yeah, this is him after the White House meeting, talking to the press and saying that the question of the territories will be left between me and Putin. And yeah, he does look like he's ready to kick Putin's ass. One of the reasons why I'm not entirely sure this meeting is actually going to happen. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe it will. Maybe it will, you guys. I think what surprised me the most about the war is seeing how similar Ukraine's geography is to my home in Indiana. Interesting, is it? Thank you, Maddie. That's an interesting fact for me. I didn't think that was the case. Although it makes sense, right? Now that I think of it. Okay. Huh. Fun fact of the day. Alrighty, everyone. Let's look at the map of the air raid alerts. Still pretty much the same as it was. His job has aged him, I know. Whenever I look at him and just the way, you know, everything has turned out, and for some reason I instantly think about his wife. In one of her interviews, Olena Zelenska, our first lady, she said how much she didn't want him to run for president. She was really against it. She didn't want it. She thought it was going to be too much. And obviously back then they couldn't even imagine what it was going to end up being, that it was going to turn into this whole thing. It was already, you know, quite a handful to begin with, but your hair is so long. Yeah, Hannah, I know. It keeps doing this to me. I don't know why. Is Boris Johnson still popular in Ukraine? Yeah, I think he is the most popular British politician. I don't think many people know who the current prime minister. They do not know anything of the current political situation, but everybody remembers Boris. Everybody remembers Boris Johnson. Remember the pastry? Yeah, I don't think the pastry is still out there, but a lot of people still they remember him. Yeah, and this is rare. I don't think there is anyone else who had such a popularity, and to be recognized not only okay, this is someone who looks vaguely familiar, it's some, British, but actually people know, okay, that's Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister. Yeah, that was an accomplishment. A bizarre one, too. I know that a lot of you guys, the British peeps, you hate him, and I understand why. But, yeah. Again, right, we are basing our, perception, our opinion on the foreign policy and on how we're being treated and our, and on the relationship between the countries and stuff. So for some reason he became the face of the great support that the British people have given us. So all right, okay, everybody. Let me just keep up with the chat, see what you have to say. Let me know if there are any questions, because we will be wrapping it up today. We're not going to do the 4 hours marathon. We do not have any live meetings, any important meetings going on, any important stuff, at least, nothing like before. So we will be doing the regular live. What is Boris Johnson's relation to Ukraine? He was the first Western politician, big Western politician, back when he was in his capacity as a UK Prime Minister, to visit us after the beginning of the full-scale invasion. And he was the first one to bring the news of support back when we thought we were going to get abandoned entirely. So he became the face of that. And this is what a lot of people remember him for. Yeah, but also UK in general is pretty popular here, I would say. I think everyone has pretty good opinion of the UK and the support. With America, unfortunately, it's slightly more complicated, especially ever since the a certain orange-colored man showed up and started calling us a bunch of names. But yeah, it used to be better before. Okay. Alrighty. Again, let me know questions, comments, thoughts, feelings, anything. No worries. You can always ask me this type of stuff. Glad to explain to the best of my ability. as much as I can. Oh my god, we're at 90,000 likes. Almost, very close. Yay, you guys. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. The zip wire. Yeah, I remember that. I remember the zip wire. Do you guys remember the zip wire? Now this is Russian, wait. I have too many languages on my keyboard. Boris Johnson. Because maybe some of you do not remember this wonderful situation. He got stuck. Boris. Yeah, the good old days. 13 years ago. Oh my god. Wait, do we have a video? Fascinating stuff, just top British experience. And then he got stuck, yeah, and it was incredible.
Can you get me a rope? Get me a rope, okay? I think I needed to test this on something going a bit faster.
Ah, different world, everybody. Yeah, so that's Boris. One of his star moments. Oh, thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everybody, for liking the YouTube live as well. You can also hit the bell if you would like to get the notification for, for stuff. If there is a bell somewhere, if you ever see it, make sure to hit it, because then it might work. What even made that seem like a good idea? I don't know. So all of the things that I learned about just the way the British mind works, I guess by this point I've given up. I've given up on ever trying to understand it. It's just, yeah, they just do stuff like this occasionally. So oh, sorry, Lemon Kun. You guys. Oh, we're discussing. Sorry, I missed the Eurovision chat. I missed the Eurovision discussion. I'm sorry. I wasn't even watching this year. I tried to keep up, but I don't know. For some reason, I just wasn't really in the mood, I guess. I guess he got to cosplay as Churchill, basically. You mean Boris? Or Zelensky? Wait, which one? Thank you, Maddie. Thank you. I will see you on Friday. Yeah, the next one is gonna be on Friday, so I will catch you all then. I've lived in the UK for 20 years and still trying to understand some. Yeah, the mysterious soul. They are the ones with the mysterious soul, not the Russians. Okay, everybody. I think on this wonderful note, with Boris being stuck on a zip wire, we will be calling this one an evening. And yeah, it's nice to finish on something slightly more optimistic. So yeah, thank you as always. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for liking. Oh, we're at 98,000. Okay, I'm gonna wait till 100,000 for a round number. And while I'm at it, what can I say? Follow me on YouTube, please. A reminder, as always, just in case, or to see the YouTube live, or to see the Borscht video, maybe other videos that might be posted soon, who knows. The rest of my links are in the link tree, in the bio. As always, I also have a backup account, which is also linked in the bio, but on there I will be posting pretty soon just much more, casual and nerdy stuff, so don't be surprised when that happens. Thank you, guys. And for the subscribers, I will let you know about the subscribers only live stream. I'm still trying to figure out when we're gonna do that. Sometime soon. So yeah, thank you. Yay, 100,000 likes. Bravo, everybody. Mwah. Thank you so much for the support. I really, really, really appreciate all of you. I will catch you all on Friday. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, Josh. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, Moo. Bye-bye, Maddie. Goodbye, you guys. Zoe, Kurt, Nightshade, everybody. Loris. Who else is here? I cannot read some of the names. Suzanne, Oma, Carolyn. Okay. Mwah. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Okay, we said goodbye to TikTok. Now we're saying bye-bye to you. Bye, Direwolf. See you soon. Carolyn, thank you. Roshkin, thank you. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Mvanets. Thank you for watching, as always. I appreciate all of you. I will catch you all on Friday, alright? And you will catch me. We will catch each other. Okay, bye-bye.